guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, this is our pantry. It is crazy. It is so messy. There's just so much stuff. When we moved into this house, we didn't really set a great system for the pantry. We just kind of did my shelf, Ellen's shelf, shared shelf, baking and goods. And that just doesn't work for us anymore. So I'm going to redo the pantry. I'm going to pull it all out, or most of it out, clean it out, and get a new system in place, because like it's so crazy to the point where we actually don't know what is in here. I'm going to reorganize it. Hopefully it will look completely different, but we'll see. Okay, let's get this show on the road. I'm just going to put you in a time lapse so you can satisfyingly watch me clean this all out. So enjoy. So I've cleared off some of this shelf, but I'm like, I have got so much stuff on the bench right now, you should literally see it. So that's just one shelf worth of stuff. But I think I need to go and get like 20 of these containers, and maybe some of these too, like these sliding ones, because they fit in quite well. Back to it, I guess. I've run into a bit of a problem with the protein powders because they're too bulky. Like, do you see how much of this shelf they're taking up? And I'm like, I cannot take up a third of one of our 4 shelves for protein powder. Whew, it's difficult. We'll get there. We're getting there. Okay, I'm going to take a little break. I have made some serious progress right now. As you can see, that is still a mess down the bottom, but this middle shelf and this one are starting to come together, and same with the top one. These bottom 2 ones definitely need some more work, but we're getting there. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm going to show you my kitchen though. Holy moly, I've made a mess. So this is what my kitchen is looking like, even with all this stuff in here. So we've got all of this going on. I literally spread out over the whole bench, and I would say 60% of it is back in the cupboard. So I've had to do this a bit of an odd way because bench space is not our strong suit, but you know, we're dealing. Alright, so I am now on my way to Kmart. I'm gonna get a bunch of containers and hopefully a label maker as well, so we can get this pantry finished, because I'm sick of it. So I did quite a bit of work on the pantry today. So after I last spoke to you, I went to Kmart and I bought like $100 worth of containers and like things just for the pantry. I bought containers and a little like drawer, like a ridiculous amount, but it's looking so good. I cannot wait to show you tomorrow. But so many containers. So I'm hoping this will keep it organized, but like it's just, you know, a constant thing staying on top of organization. So I'm hoping for the best. Anyways, good night and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, so this is where we got to yesterday. I bought like 9 of these, I think they're 1.5 litre containers for all of our flours and like legumes and stuff, and my protein powders. I've decided to store my protein powders like this because I think they take up too much space. And I've also got some little containers back here for my smaller like organic products like cacao powder, my matcha, my kami, like all of that stuff back there. It is looking so much better already. I was looking at the before and after photos because yesterday I was feeling a bit flat because I hadn't accomplished anything. And then when I looked back, I was like, oh yeah, no, it definitely is looking better. We just have some work to get done today. So this is what the rest of the kitchen is looking like at the moment. They're not great, but I'm determined to get this done today. I do not want to be doing this tomorrow as well. So I'm going to get it done today before my babysitting gig tonight at 5. am almost done with the kitchen. This is what's left of it. It looks like a lot, but it's not. These peanut butters need to be compiled into one jar because with natural peanut butter, it gets a bit like stuck at the bottom. So hot water and put them into one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this pasta jar yet, but it is handy to keep it sealed. And then the rest of the stuff is either stuff I need to find storage for, like the spare containers, or stuff that I will be putting away. So the only bit I have left, I'm gonna have to go back to Kmart after yesterday. I have to get one more of these little containers for my cacao powder, and I'm gonna get 2 more of these wide and long ones for this shelf down here. This is going to be our spare shelf. So all the spare products that don't have a spot up here, or stuff that we buy sporadically and we don't use as much. So obviously, like, you'll have a spot for plain flour, but you won't have a spot for like yeast flakes, you know? Anyways, besides the point, I'm gonna go and get that now. Well, I've got motivation to do so because I think if I sit down, I'm not gonna want to do it anymore. So I'm gonna go right now. Okay, so last time I was on here, I said I was gonna go to Kmart now. I didn't. It's 2 days later. It's Sunday today, and we just went and picked up the last of the containers for the pantry. I'm gonna do the last shelf. It's almost done. It has been a bit of a flog. Like, I've literally been doing this for 3 days. Not actively for 3 days and like all day of the 3 days, but 3 days nonetheless. But it's gonna be so much better once it's fully organized, and it's already looking so much better. I cannot wait for you to see the before and after photos. So I'll see you in a second. Finally finished the pantry, so we've got all 4 of our shelves better organized now. No one's got a particular space that is just theirs. Everything's in containers or drawers. It'll definitely make using the pantry a lot easier. So I've separated it into flours and grains and like lentils and stuff. And then we've got drinks and pastas and other like soup mixes and stuff. Kind of stuff that we'll use often in cooking. Then we've got all our teas. I've got a little section for my protein powder. Ellen's got one for her snacks. Back there we've got oats and wheat bix, so all the spare cereals. And we've got spreads, so the peanut butter, tahini, honey, jam. We've got cans here. Down there we've got spare spices, the rest of our spices, and then like our bread products, wraps and crustkits and things, and just any spare things that don't have a place up here. And then on the top is just rice and all of our baking stuff, so fruit and nuts. That goes in a lot of my baking, sugar alternatives, so maple syrup, rice malt syrup, all that stuff, and then the other baking stuff like the sprinkles and vanilla essence and stuff. But it seems to make much more sense. I think we actually know what's going to be in here now, so that'll be great. So yeah, this is it. It took me much longer than I anticipated. I thought this was going to be like a 3-hour job maybe. To be fair, I probably could have smashed it out really quickly and not done a like great job of it, but I'm happy with how it is, and I think how I've done it should be easy enough to maintain, because when like 3 people live in a house, it can get a bit crazy because everyone has stuff that they need to put places and things, but not all the space is occupied, so there's room to grow, so I think I'm optimistic. Alright, that is all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. If you haven't already, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and make sure you have subscribed and turned on your post notifications, as I post every single week. I will see you next week.